Difficult target. This editorial addresses Pakistan's tax revenue challenges amid inflation and IMF pressure. A's. A 1-2 punch delivered by an unforeseen sharp dip in inflation and an extremely slim base of taxpayers is expected to leave the country's top tax agency with a big hole in its overly ambitious revenue target of around Rs 13 TR. Then, 1-2 punch means two severe setbacks occurring together. It is an idiomatic expression. Unforeseen means unexpected. Sharp dip means a sudden decrease. It is a phrasal noun. Extremely slim base means a very small number of taxpayers. Big hole means a large financial gap. It is a metaphor. Overly ambitious means excessively difficult or unrealistic. Since the announcement of the present budget, it was obvious to most that the FBR would miss the target that demanded revenues to grow by nearly 40 PC over last year's collection, as the authorities had skirted structural reforms needed to broaden the tax net and make the taxation system equitable and just. Miss the target means fail to achieve the goal. It is an idiomatic expression. Grow by nearly 40 PC means increase by almost 40%. Skirted structural reforms means avoided making necessary changes. Broaden the tax net means increase the number of taxpayers. It is a metaphor. Equitable and just means fair and reasonable. Much of the burden of the additional revenues was shifted onto existing taxpayers, including salaried classes. The rest was expected to come autonomously, from economic expansion and higher inflation. Burden means heavy financial responsibility. Shifted onto means transferred to. It is a phrasal verb. Salaried classes means people earning a fixed monthly income. Autonomously means naturally or without additional effort. Economic expansion means growth in business and industries. Higher inflation means rising prices of goods and services. With inflation now below 3 PC, the tax authorities expect a revenue shortfall of at least Rs 0.5 TR. Many fear that the hole could widen to almost Rs 1 TR as the FBR is already struggling with a gap of Rs 468 BN in its target for the July-January period. Below 3 PC means lower than 3%. Shortfall means financial deficit or missing amount. Hole could widen means the financial gap may become worse. It is a metaphor. Struggling with a gap means having difficulty covering the difference between expected and actual revenue. According to a report in this paper, the tax authorities argue that this gap cannot be covered without increasing the tax rates for existing taxpayers or imposing new taxes due to the narrow base. Gap cannot be covered means the financial shortage cannot be filled. Increasing the tax rates means raising the percentage of tax paid. Imposing new taxes means introducing additional taxes. Narrow base means a small number of people or businesses paying taxes. This proposal has already been rejected by the Prime Minister on account of its negative political consequences. Rejected by the Prime Minister means refused or declined by the leader. Negative political consequences means harmful effects on public perception and government stability. The revenue shortfall, on the other hand, will not go down well with the IMF, which was reported to have refused an earlier request from Islamabad to slash the tax target in view of rapid deflation. Go down well means be accepted or received positively. It is an idiomatic expression. Refused means denied or rejected. Slash the tax target means significantly reduce the revenue goal. It is a phrasal verb. Deflation means a decrease in general price levels, opposite of inflation. However, the tax authorities are confident that the IMF will overlook the collection gap if they achieve the tax-to-GDP ratio of 10.6 PC for the current year, since the lender is aware of the economic factors responsible for it. Overlook the collection gap means ignore the revenue shortfall. It is a phrasal verb. Tax-to-GDP ratio means the percentage of a country's total economic output that comes from taxes. Economic factors responsible for it means financial conditions causing the revenue problem. How the IMF is going to respond will not be clear until the second biannual performance review of the program in summer. Yet we will get some early hints from the fund during the first review next month. Respond means react or take action. Biannual performance review means an assessment conducted twice a year. Early hints means initial signs or indications. The difficulty facing the FBR in meeting its target underscores how crucial it is to execute tax reforms to broaden the base and make the system fair and equitable if the country's tax revenue potential is to be realized. Meeting its target means achieving the revenue goal. Underscores means emphasizes or highlights. Crucial means extremely important. Execute tax reforms means implement changes to the tax system. Broaden the base means increase the number of taxpayers. It is a metaphor. Fair and equitable means just and impartial. Tax revenue potential means the full amount of money the government could collect through taxes. Realized means achieved or fulfilled. Contingent upon it is not just the IMF funding, but also Pakistan's future financial and economic viability. Contingent upon means dependent on. Financial and economic viability means the ability to sustain stable economic growth and financial health.